Bata-bata, lumabas ka sa kwarto mo. Nasa lansangan ang kwento ng mundo. Halika't magpaaraw, matutong tumakbo. Nang lumakas ang tuhod, tumigas ang buto. Magkakasama tayo, magkakampi sila, magpapakitang gilas sa ginuhit na linya. Huwag palampasin ang kahit na isa. Talasan ang iyong isip, mata at tainga. Sumusugod, umiiwas, yumuyuko, umaatras, lumulusot, umiilag, tumitsyempo, lumiliyag, lalampasan bawat linya. Tayo, kalaban sila, basta't tayo'y magkakasama. Sigurado ang saya-saya. One for all tayo, all for one sila. Sisingit, lumalansing, kumakarera. Basta't kalkulado ang galaw ng iba. Di tayo matatalo, di tayo matutumba. Sumusugod, umiiwas, yumuyuko, umaatras, lumulusot, umiilag, tumitsyempo, lumiliyag, lalampasan bawat linya. Tayo, kalaban sila, basta't tayo'y magkakasama. Sigurado ang saya-saya. Halika, magpaaraw, matutong tumakbo. Nang lumakas ang tuhod, tumigas ang buto. Sumusugod, umiiwas, yumuyuko, umaatras, lumulusot, umiilag, tumitsyempo, lumiliyag, lalampasan bawat linya. Tayo, kalaban sila, basta't tayo'y magkakasama. Sigurado ang saya-saya. Patintero tayo. Taguan. Umikit ako't pagmulat, kalaro ko'y naglaho, pati hininga ay tinago, upang di ko mahanap. Kahit naliwanag ang buwan, laging may sulok sa dilim. Magtatago karoon ng palihim, hanggang matagpuan ako ang taya. Hanap-hanap, kaibigan na bawat nawawala. Kampi ko ang buwan, maliwanag sa ating tago-taguan. Ako ang taya, hanap-hanap sa ating tago-taguan. Kapag nakita na nga kita, susulpot ang nagsilaho. Umpisa na ng bagong laro, ang pipikit. Ikaw nang taya, hanap-hanap, kaibigang nawawala. Ituturo ng buwang maliwanag aming pinagtataguan. Isa, dalawa, tatlo, magtago na kayo. Wala sa harap, wala sa likod, handa na ba kayo? Isa, dalawa, tatlo, magtago na kayo. Wala sa harap, wala sa likod, eto na ako. Ituturo ng buwang maliwanag aming pinagtataguan. Tago-taguan, ikaw nang taya, kaibigang nawawala. Ituturo ng buwang maliwanag, isaya ng tago-taguan. Tago-tago-taguan, oh, oh, oh. Tago-tago-taguan.
Tawagin ang mga bata, maglaro sa kalsada. 2, 3, 4 o 5 ay pwedeng-pwede na.
Kumuhit ng bilog sa lupa, kumuha ng lata at ilagay ang lata sa gitna. At ang mato'y handa na.
At mula sa bilog at latang mga 6 na pulgada, kumuhit ng linya at doon pugulin ang lata sa gitna.
Ngunit teka muna, kailangang may taya. Kunin ang tsinelas at ihagi sa linya ang pinakamalayo.
Ang siyang magiging taya.
Tara na't magtubang preso. Masayang laro ng batang Pilipino. Buhayin ang larong katutubo. Tuklasin at muling ituro.
Sa mga bagong bata, batang Pilipino.
Sa mga bagong bata, batang Pilipino. Pag tinamaan ang lata at hindi ito natumba, humanda na at hahabulin ka. Kaya tumakbo na.
Tumatoy dapat mabawi at huwag papahuli. Mag-ingat at baka abutin ka. At ikaw naman ang taya.
Tara na't magtubang preso. Masayang laro ng batang Pilipino. Buhayin ang larong katutubo. Tuklasin at muling ituro.
Sa mga bagong bata, batang Pilipino.
Sa mga bagong bata,
Physical activity in all its forms can help young people to flourish. But it's difficult to know how active each child is, if they're making progress, and most importantly, whether they're enjoying it. MyMove is a groundbreaking activity monitoring app for schools that allows teachers, parents, and coaches to support young people in making physical activity a regular part of their lives. It draws upon years of research into what makes children stay active. Mia's school use MyMove. Every day she uses the app to log her physical activity, including PE lessons, Sunday morning football, street dance, and skateboarding. For each activity, she records the duration, setting, and how it made her feel. Over time, this builds a picture of Mia's activity profile. Her PE teacher, Mr. Thomas, can monitor Mia's data, as well as the activity levels of other students in the school. This allows him to review the impact of the school's practice and provide targeted support where needed. Mr. Thomas can then use the data to support students and have conversations with the young people, parents, and other teachers. Being part of the MyMove community gives you access to regular activity summaries, research articles, online courses, and opportunities to connect with other schools. Around the world, there is growing concern that young people are becoming increasingly inactive. MyMove gives us the data that will help change that and encourage all young people to develop a physical activity habit that will last them a lifetime. Get your school moving. Visit mymoveapp.com.
Lord of wisdom, source of intelligence, we welcome you to this auspicious gathering, an august moment for the pursuit of knowledge that is offered for the glory of your name. We do not wish to ask you more than just you joining us today, but we look forward to your heavenly grace to amplify the desire for truth, to look up for and become prudent to learning. Keep us grounded in your love and mercy as we traverse a challenging path to keeping the inclination of understanding you and your most awe-inspiring creation. Be with us, O Lord, and descend your Spirit on us to maintain an earnest desire for knowledge, truth, and understanding you, the guide of the wise, the stronghold of the learned. This we ask through Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Okay, another thrilling Saturday to all. Once again, welcome to our professional learning community buddies here in the Philippines and around the globe. This is Sir John Jeco Figuracion, your 1PhysEd Program and Events Associate, bringing the 97th episode of 1PhysEd.Ph. Today is another journey for us as we have another series this 2022 that will run this month of September until November 2022. Again, welcome to the Featured Teacher series. For this week, we have our final and last episode with Sharps and Flats, and I'm very excited for this concluding session because after this, another set of very excellent and very dynamic set of featured teachers will follow in our sharing. For this week, we have experienced so much. Especially sa mga taga-DepEd dyan, ilan sa atin palaging umaasa everyday na may suspension and other more, and some of us are still adjusting to the new normal. And I myself have experienced a lot of adjustments, especially not only in the system again of adjusting from online to face to face again, but the situation of the students. In the first month of our physical education programs, we have initiated physical fitness testing, and many of our students had accidents, and some even had serious injuries like fractures, and some of them had major injuries in the muscle strains and sprains. And as instead of blaming each other, we brainstormed how did this happen, and it's been a week. Our theory is, of course, the students have been away for 2 years, had low to no physical activities, and it's their first time again to initiate in physical fitness testing. And some of them are very excited and very competitive sa paggawa ng aming physical fitness activities. At dahil sobrang competitive nila, tinotodo nila yung katawan nila, even though their bodies are not fully prepared. Their bones are not fully prepared, their muscles are not yet warmed up. So parang naging isa yun sa mga naging reason kung bakit ang dami sa kanila mumulikat sa kalagitnaan ng takbo. They jogging lang ng 3 rounds, sobrang hinihingal na sila. And this is one of the challenges of that we are facing right now. How to improve once again, or get the students' fitness back on track like they did when they were 2 years ago. And this is a very challenge because ngayon lang ako na-experience na yung clinic hindi naubusan ng pasyente buong araw. It's multiple cases, hindi lang physical. Hindi lang physical, meron din kami mga cases sa guidance office because of triggers and mental anxiety and many more. So ang daming responsibilities ng school, especially sa mga nag-initiate na kanilang face-to-face, to really cater these students and make them feel that they are welcome again in our schools. Okay? So yun yung mga major experiences na meron tayo this week. Because it's our pleasure to serve the Philippine PhysEd community by providing professional development training. Imagine, we have already reached our 97th episode. Yes, this can only be possible with the continued support of this community to get relevant and meaningful professional development training. Saturdays become more exciting for us because we know that this kind of program can make a difference as we continue facing the challenges and the demands of our profession. You heard it right. 1PhysEd.Ph is a professional learning community. And because of that, we believe that any one of you who are willing to share their best practices in our teaching profession in physical education can be one of our guest speakers. And I have been a result of that. I have already been a speaker for plenty of times, and it's been a good experience. Medyo nakakaba, pero it's a good experience when your fellow P teachers are also giving their gratitude when they learn something from you, and you inspire them with your best practice. That's why we're inviting you to reach us and be our speaker here in 1PhysEd.Ph. For more information, you can just message us on Facebook page or message Coach JR or anyone from the 1PhysEd.Ph admin. At this juncture, we welcome all our participants for this afternoon. Wait, let me log into my YouTube first. Let's first check our Zoom participants. We're already 49 here. Wait lang, I'm gonna check again we're already 49 here at the Zoom meeting, and let's give some shout outs first. And ang ating pinakauna nag-message, si Ma'am Lori Quinto from Universidad de Santa Isabela, Naga Incorporated, Bicol Region. We also have from Catubig Valley National Heights, si Sir Julie. Hello, Sir Julie. And si Miss Levita, syempre, ang mga suki, si Miss Levita, si Miss Pasensya, ayan, sila mga suki natin dito sa ating Zoom meeting. Hello, Miss Annabelle from Masbate, Sir Oliver, and hello from Miss Gilda Reyes from Bulacan State University, Malolos. Let's also now check our participants from YouTube. Ayan. Ayan, may nag-echo. Let's check our participants from YouTube. Let's start with... Ay mag-scroll. Let's start with from Cagayan State University, Gonzaga Campus, Miss Evelyn. Hello, Miss Evelyn. Isa rin sa mga suki natin si Miss Evelyn. And also from Pampanga, Miss Johaira. Yan, na-miss ka namin, Miss Johaira. Ha? Ngayon ka lang kita ulit. And of course, Pastor Edgar Gutierrez from Pampanga Colleges. Hello sa inyong lahat. We would like to request everyone to keep on sharing our live stream because para mas marami pa tayong matuto dito sa ating session na ito. Okay? Also, we would like also just sa mga nasa Zoom meeting din, invite everyone to keep on sharing the live stream kasi very exciting tong last session natin na ito. Pero syempre, hindi ko na patatagalin. I'll give the floor already to ours because para sa mga bagong login at bagong attend ng ating featured PE teacher series, specifically our partnership with SharpsNFlats, let me just give a refresher on their credentials. Ms. Z or Ms. Zerin Literte had 27 years teaching and leadership experiences in nursery to high school music classes, specifically private and international schools here in the Philippines and overseas. She had 10 years international baccalaureate training and practices to primary to middle school curriculum development and instruction, and resource speaker and consultant on teacher professional development in areas of early years music, movement and literacy, curriculum design, and alignment with the teaching practices and assessments. On the other hand, Miss Riza, Miss RJ, Miss Riza Picho, began her teaching career in a public school back in 2002 in her province. She became a Kumon instructor and later transferred to the La Salle Santiago Sobel School. She taught music, art, and physical education in the early years for 7 years before moving to the upper grades 4, 5, and 6. Ms. Riza has been advocating the use of technology in her physical education classes using the Seesaw Learning Journal and the Flipgrid applications, connecting with authors via Skype and Skype-a-thon events. Ms. Riza is also a Google Certified Educator Level 1 and 2, a Flipgrid Ambassador, Seesaw Certified Educator, and a Microsoft Certified Educator. She has been the technology mentor for her colleagues in her school and volunteers to train and organize professional development sessions for teachers in the Philippines to SharpsNFlats organization and the 1PhysEd.Ph group. Once again, let's give a warm round of applause to Ms. Z and Ms. RJ.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. How are you? Thank you for joining us again. How time flies. It's the last session for this webinar series in our skills acquisition. And this afternoon, we'll start with the feedback and evaluation. Go ahead, Teacher Z.
Okay, before we start, I think we should say hi to everyone, those who have been with us. This is our 4th week. I hope you will be participating in today's webinar and we'll get you going and active. Let's start with an active activity.
Yes, as always, we always begin with a brain, activating the brain before we dive into what we will be talking about this afternoon.
Okay. Are we ready, Ms. Riza?
Yes.
I'm sure you're familiar with this. Let's get you moving.
Okay. Let me fix my camera.
Anna meatball. Yeah. Turn it up. Nerdy by nature. Turn it up. Patterns in the air, patterns everywhere. Patterns made of shapes, patterns made of grapes. Patterns on the cheetah, patterns on my feeder. Patterns in the nap, patterns in this rap. Oh, that's right. Make a pattern, let's make a pattern. All right, cool. Make a pattern, make a pattern. Let's make a pattern. Okay, here's one. Banana, banana, meatball. 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 You got it. Turn it up now. Make a pattern. Make a pattern. Let's make a pattern. All right. Make a pattern. Make a pattern. Let's make a pattern. Okay, here's one. Nod, clap, shake your hips. 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 Bring it back. Come on, y'all. Make a pattern. Make a pattern. Let's make a pattern. All right. Make a pattern. Make a pattern. Let's make a pattern. Okay, here's one. Loud, loud, quiet, quiet. 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 Patterns when I walk, patterns when I talk. Patterns in my brain, patterns down the drain. Patterns on my nail, patterns on the snail. Patterns on the walls going straight into my eyeball.
Slabs and zigzags, stripes and spots, spirals, tiles, tater tots. Everywhere I look, these patterns emerge, and then I start to get this funny urge
To make a pattern, make a pattern, let's make a pattern. All right. Make a pattern, make a pattern, let's make a pattern. Okay,
last one.
elbow, stomach, stomach, elbow, 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 elbow, stomach, stomach, elbow. Patterns in the air, patterns everywhere. Patterns made of shapes, patterns made of grapes. Patterns on the cheetah, patterns on my feeder. Patterns in the nap, patterns in this rag.
One more time.
Come on, yeah. Make a pattern, make a pattern, let's make a pattern. All right. Make a pattern, let's make a pattern.
Go bump it down.
I'm like totally obsessed with patterns.
Oh yeah. My nickname's actually Pattern. Anywhere you look, you can see a pattern and pointing right out.
Thanks for moving with us.
Wow.
What did you notice?
We can see some of you joining us.
Did you like that? Yes.
Thank you for turning on your cameras.
Thank you,
Teacher
Teacher
Lori and
Lori. Miss
Teacher-
Pasentia. Yay.
Yay! I hope
I
that,
like your energy.
that showed you how we can integrate movement into supporting literacy for our kids, not only in the areas of PE, but really improving their language, right?
Yes,
Through
so
the
it's-
rhythm patterns that
Yes.
we just did earlier.
So it's a holistic approach to teaching skills and enhancing those literacy skills of our students. So you can actually adapt this when you have your fundamental motor skills, and then you, instead of the words, you assign body parts, all other body parts aside from what they mentioned in the song, and you can actually ask your students to make the patterns for you. So it's a great active, as soon as possible activity. Like in PE, we observe as soon as the kids are in the gym or in their learning space, we try to give an active activity right away.
Okay, I think we're all warmed up, ready for today.
Wow, we have a BPED 4 from University of Baguio, Miss Geraldine. Thank you. She's attending in YouTube. Thank you, everyone. I hope you
can hear us clearly. We're about to start.
were exercised with that.
Okay. We're
Yes,
ready.
Miss RJ, you're here.
You can hear us?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I think we're ready to start. So it's been a journey. So today will be, I'm not saying the end, but this is part of the process that we all go through. Today is actually who we are because of these practices. I think without the feedback and reflection and everything that we have been doing as professional teachers, we won't be here today.
Yes.
Okay.
So thank you. Let's get on with this reflection, feedback, and evaluation.
Okay, for the past few weeks, we've worked on the skills acquisition, the beginning stage, and then we work with you through learning more about assessment and actually aligning the assessments with the skills development of our kids. And then last week we talked about how to support practices of our students in face-to-face sessions and online. How do we support them through technology, through the things that we do, through how we design the classroom. And I think the huge part of that is how we develop relationship with our students, right? So for today, we're gonna be moving on to the feedback, which we did not finish from last week.
Saturday.
Okay, we can't really separate the three because as we do feedbacking, I'm sure you will agree that somehow there's this reflective part of us and even our students that whatever we're feeding them, it actually sends a message and they think through it. So I think we cannot really separate the three. Right?
Yes, Teacher C. It might be a challenge since it's our first year to go back face to face, but at least we're given an opportunity to look and and reflect on how we are doing now that we're back to face.
Okay, let's move on. Oh, this is just a picture that I have thought about, like where we are at the moment, how we started. So over the past few weeks, we were here. It's like going on a journey and really just wondering where are we going. So with our students, I think that relates to the learning goals and targets and all the skills that we want them to develop. And then now we're here where we are. It's part of the journey, the process, letting know where they're exactly at the moment so they can head on to the next journey or they can finish the line, right? So today we're going to be doing this, where we are and where are we going next. I think reaching the end of the line is not really the end of the line because learning is a continuous process.
That's our life. That's why you are here, because you keep on learning.
Okay, last week, I think I shared this with you. I did not discuss this in details, but these are the general characteristic or nature of feedback that we always hear about, that we experience during our teaching career or life. So basically, when as we have been sharing with you from the beginning, everything that we do has to be specific, has to be explicitly taught, and very, very clear to our students, from our goals to how we assess them, what are we assessing, and really where we want them to be. Okay, last week we talked about the importance of relationship. At the end of the day, a huge part of how we do things, how we write the assessment, how we design the plan, all of this sometimes matters, but then I think the bigger weight is the heart of it is the relationship first that we build upon our students. So without the relationship, I think kahit na you have the best lesson plan, but you don't have the, the
you have
rapport.
no connection with your students.
Yeah, so it's important that aside from the time we spend with them in the classroom, we also spend time with them of the campus or away from the classroom, or whether online or just during their playtime, and just really being with them. I think that is the one that they will remember, as also shared by Coach JR last week, right? Okay.
Yes.
And then I think this one, the submission is something that's very routinary for our students. But the key word here is timely submission. Timely submission of our student matters to us because it gives us an information on how they're doing, right? What are we going to teach next? But it's also an important information for us to return their work on time, so they also get the feedback and they know how to go about before it's too late, right?
Yes.
So it shouldn't end in the submission in the Google Drive and then that's it, right? So timely submission. We also need to know the timing when to give the feedback to each student. Do we give it during class? Do we do it during recess? So how do we do it? So today we'll be looking into that. And then I think the last one is the one of the essential element of the feedbacking, right? So when we give feedback, usually because we lack the time, we don't give the students the opportunity or to really take actions. Okay, they hear the feedback, or we give them the grade, they receive a report, an excellent grade, that then basically that's it. They don't do anything about it. So the big thing is, when you're given feedback, what do you do about it, right? With your like when you're being evaluated or being given feedback by your superior or administrator, then I think whether it's positive or negative, we should be taking action, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay, this is a cycle. Last week we showed you a picture of the factory when we're doing the practice sessions with our kids, the formative process. The feedback is also an entire process in itself. As you can see here, here's a model of what we usually should go through as a teacher. So we basically model and then show a certain skill, and then we supposedly guide the kids, whether face-to-face or online. They should have the materials available to them, so they will be guided. The keyword here, I guess, Miss RJ, is guided.
Yes.
Yeah, we just don't leave them as in practice. That's totally vague for them. And then after that, they do a performance of understanding. Based on the rubrics that we give them, based on how we explain what we expect of them. And I think they will be showing you the skills during a performance. And then we give them a formative feedback, and then we give them opportunities to improve the performance. And then it's a cycle. After they improve, then it's a cue that we will be moving on to the next lesson.
That's right.
Right? So most of the time, as the keyword here, feedback. So there are two words here, feed, just like how we do it in Facebook. So there should be like a feed. If we don't feed anything, there's nothing. There's no action. There's no response. You won't really expect a response, right? Back, meaning whatever you feed should always go back. The thing is, because we're challenged by time and the demands, the content of the curriculum, sometimes the feed remains to be feed. There's no back anymore.
Yes.
It's always a cycle, a two-way. It's a relationship between the teacher and the student. And I believe that feedback is like feedback not only from the teacher to the student, but also the student to the teacher.
Yes.
Right? So they're communicating something to us, to us, right? When they're performing, it's like they're giving us like how we did in the planning. They're giving us information. They're also showing us like how they're gonna be, what they call this? How are we gonna be designing the plans again, so that we can go through the next lesson. So it's actually two-way. It's an episode, right? We call it an episode of how our students are learning.
Yeah, I wonder, teachers, see how the teachers are giving feedback now that they are face-to-face. Do you still have your LMS, or you're still using social media, or just an oral feedback? So you can try to share with us if it's oral feedback, a thumbs up, or if it's a different way, maybe a heart.
We're actually looking through each of the teachers now. We're hoping to.
You just have started school. Happy 1 month to you. You just started August 22, most of you. So you turned a month last Thursday. So how was your first month of teaching face-to-face? Describe using an emoji. You can answer it in the chat or just a reaction. How are you finding being back to face-to-face? Okay, how about in our YouTube feed? How are you after a month of back into face-to-face teaching? I think it's taking a long time for everyone to process what they're feeling.
Excited, teacher.
Okay, thank you.
And engaging. Very challenging.
For Sir
Challenging.
Paul, okay.
Oh, challenging naman talaga, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi paano ka naman mag-feed? Interesting. I think when we were designing the content of this, the big question is, how do you really feed and expect a response back when you have like a lot of kids and it's a huge classroom, right?
Yes.
I think that's the challenge question for today. Okay, so it's a never-ending cycle. So just like when we produce like products like sa factory, di ba? Pagkatapos mo maggawa ng isang product, mag-bake ka na, bukas may order na naman. So it's the same process. So sa teaching, ganun rin. Pagtapos mo na yun, it doesn't end there. Bukas meron ka na naman pile of papers to check. It's a continuous cycle, right? So yan yung feedback. Now let's look into how our students are receiving feedback from us. Okay, so in different schools, you have your different ways of assessing students,
That's
right?
right.
Feedback, how we give feedback. Usually, the end form of that is through either a score, a grade, right? Or a letter grade, right? Okay. We would be happy to hear from you. Like if you
Yeah.
when you were a student before, I'd like you to look back. This is like reflection, Miss Risa. I'd like you to look back. The moment you see a score or you see an A or a B or even a D on your report card, what is it that comes into your mind, or how do you take it? Like how, because the teacher already gave you the score.
Yeah. It's
That's-
numerical. My experience was numerical. Oh, that's so nice to hear.
Okay. Naghihintay tayo ng baka a teacher would like to turn on the mic and actually share. Anong reaction nyo? Can you remember that time or that teacher who gave you that report card, or yung report card nyo puro A? Maybe we'll ask Miss Risa, the time when she was still studying and you were receiving the grades, what is it that you feel, or what were you thinking that time?
Oh, back in first year college, there's this basic math. I totally forgot about basic math. Kasi hindi ko alam how to go through the process of those basic math skills. So I couldn't quite follow how my teacher is teaching it. So I was really expecting that I would fail it. And I did, because there was no feedback in between what we were learning and how am I learning it. And I didn't get a chance to ask her because I was in college, so I was too shy to ask already how to go through the processes, because I was too afraid to ask. So there was no feedback given to me. There was no help how to navigate the difficulty of my learning. So I failed. I not failed, almost failed that subject.
Thank you for sharing. We'll continue sharing, but I think some of the teachers are sharing. If I get a low score, Teacher Levita, thank you so much. I personally ask my teachers. Yes. Okay, some students are like that. They really try to question you, and I think that's a good practice that we should encourage our students, right? To really ask. And we naman as teachers, let's not feel bad about it. The thing with the score is it creates a very strong emotional response on our students. It's either we motivate them or it totally breaks or demotivate a student, right? Because it speaks for itself. But I think at the end of the day, we should be asking ourselves, like if we give a student, for example, a D or a C, can we as a teacher do something about it that we could help this student, this D score turn into a B? Did we do something as a teacher to help the student not reach that point, right?
Yes.
Did we give that student a feedback along the way? The same thing for those who got A. The thing about A and A plus is when you get it, parang, wow, I'm the most brilliant student. But I don't get the students won't have the idea. Can you imagine this? Knowing that she's good, alam na niya, nagmagaling na siya. But working towards progress and not perfection, I'm sure kahit na excellent niya, in a way, there's a part or a space in the learning wherein the students can still improve, right? So the A, the A plus, the B, the C doesn't really speak in its on itself like how the student is, right?
I think teacher parents can relate to this, right? If you're a teacher mom or a teacher dad, and then your own child gets this range of grade, and then of course you will ask your child, and then you would ask your teacher, and then your child would say, Mom, I don't like, ano ka ba ma? Wag na. So I have this, my niece is actually like this. I would usually want her, okay, give me the email of your teacher. I would want to ask, why did you get an 89 in PE when you were not able to meet for some time and there were no materials given, things like that. And then she would tell me, wag na, ayoko. Baka pagdating ng next term, pag-initan ako ni teacher. So I hope we move away from that practice now. So it's already 21st century skills. So I hope we are the ones encouraging our students to ask.
Yes, okay. Thank you for the responses, teacher. This is very good because we're actually getting responses today.
Yes.
So is to shout aloud, yes, I did it. This is the reaction of students who's getting a high grade,
Yes.
right? And then if you feel bad, then you either cry or go to your mom. And then the others naman, sabi dito, which is true. Sometimes teachers don't like to hear the feedback themselves because the feedback is very, very strong. It really speaks of how we are doing in class, whether positive or negative. So I think yung ano dyan, at the end of the day, pag nakita ng bata yung score or nakita mo, the question is, did I do something about it to help this student raise or improve the score? So yan yung meaning ng score, right?
Yes.
So I think, how do you make this score meaningful? Because we can't do away with it because it's a requirement. We need a data. We need something to encode. Diba?
Yes.
The school needs these statistics for record thing. Lahat yan, kailangan yan. Hindi pwedeng wala. So a school can't exist with just all of these words and comments, right? But I'd like you to think about this. Like, when the students are receiving this, there should always be what do you call this? A comment or something like a written thing or an oral thing, a feedback
that
in
comes
the middle before this actually happens. Because if that's not happening, then we're just judging. The word is, you have judged the student without giving them a chance
opportunity
to affirm what they're good at, what they can and what they can improve on. So comments like this, we know it's very, very tedious. I have worked in a school wherein we're required to do this, and I tell you, it's very taxing. So talagang yung time management mo as a teacher, you can't do this overnight. I have to work through a series of like mga 2 weeks writing, like maybe 2 students a day, bukas 2 students naman. Mahirap siya, hindi siya madali. But at the end of the day, I think it's very rewarding on our end as a teacher and for the students and for the parents as well, because they're gonna be more informed, and we minimize yung pagbalik sa teacher na binigyan mo lang ng mababa yan, di mo naman binigyan ng chance. So wala siya. At tapos sa student naman, hindi niya rin alam kung saan siya magaling. Basta alam niya lang magaling siya.
I wonder, teacher C, how many private teachers do we have right now and public school teachers? If you're from a public school, thumbs up. If you're from a private school, so give us a smiley. Let's see. Okay.
Oh, very good.
Because I think for context, it would be challenging for public school teachers, right? Because some parents, technically in the public schools, some are into their students and to their kids' grades and some are not. Basta nag-aral ka, okay na ako na. May mga ganyang mga magulang. So may mga magulang naman na, naku, hindi pwede, kailangan ganito dapat. So let's find out. Sino na po naka-experience ng ganon?
Ganun na sabi teacher Paul,
Yeah.
should be treated properly. Oh, totoo naman. When we
Yeah,
receive,
that's
we report,
confidential.
we report it, and then we respond. Right?
Yes.
I think the favorite here is
The 4
respond.
hours of
Oo,
feedback.
yung magre-respond tayo. Usually nagagawa naman to, nare-receive, nare-record naman natin, nare-report, pero nawawala yung
response yung-
respond.
Matagalang ano. That's a challenge because it's a reality. If you have like 40 to 50 students, how do you respond to that right away? So later on, you'll find strategies on responding to feedback.
Kasi ito, di ba, ideally, sa ano to, ideal to kung students mo 10 lang,
Yes.
10 in a class, 5.
Yes.
Pero kung 50, 80, paano mo gagawin yun, di ba? So,
Naku, teacher C.
you have to think of a better way, more strategic way of giving the students this feedback, di ba? Pero sa hindi ganitong ka-elaborate. Right?
Yes.
So how do we give feedback? If you look at this, may klase ka tapos 40, 45 kahit mga sa Delesal mahirap, 'di ba? Parang how do you do this do this? Ano, magi-smiley ka lang ba all throughout or bibigay ka ng word na we know
Good job.
Yeah, 'di ba we did this
Yeah,
before?
we went through that stage. The good job, you did well. But of course, angat-angat din tayo ng konti. 1PhysEd.Ph na tayo. So, angat buhay na as a teacher. Okay? So, go ahead, Teacher C.
So today we'll share some strategies that these are only the word is some. So there's other strategies that you can use, but I hope you'll be able to try this and look into this para hindi naman sobrang hirap yung feedbacking. Kasi yung kanina, pang ano lang yung pang small class. Okay, so the whole class feedback is I think the most common practice that we do as teachers, right? So what we do is we gather the class, we give a whole class feedback. So the feedbacking is supposedly should focus on the thing that we want the students to improve as a class. So given this, dapat na-check mo na yung work and you've seen the overall, the big picture. So
That's
when
right.
we talk to our kids, we don't talk to them in one by one kasi may isang tao dyan, alam mo na, hindi niya ginawa, tapos hindi tayo ganun
Huwag na tayo
mag-feedback.
magparinig.
Oo, hindi ganun. Dapat kung ano lang, kunyari yung bata overall mahina kunyari sa music, in the context of music, hindi makasayaw sa tamang beat, doon ka mag-focus,
Yes.
right? So
Di ba nga, Teacher C, dun sa first slide mo kanina, we model. So even feedback giving, we have to model it to our students.
Yan, whole class feedback. So that should take you like a few minutes, madali lang orally, right? Pero nabibigyan mo sila ng feedback. So yung entire class gets a sense of where they're at the moment, right? I think ma-easy to, and a lot of teachers are doing this already. Okay, this is sabi niya, to, ospital? Ito na. Kasi kakabigay natin ng feedback. This is another strategy, the triage. I'll talk about this muna in the context of hospital, tapos si Teacher Lisa will put it in the classroom setting. So, di ba pagpunta ka sa hospital, and so yung triage mo, even during the COVID times, di ba, the question is, how do hospitals get to manage the patients? Kung lahat yun, imagine magpo-plot in kayo sa hospital, tapos lahat kayo may COVID, kung wala silang triage, can you imagine, di lahat na lang, kalat-kalat lang sila doon, tapos kakalat lang yung sakit, di ba? So what do the triage team like focus on? Pagpunta mo doon, minsan may tent na, tapos nakalagay triage. So anong ginagawa doon? So sa triage, the nurses and the health professionals, basically they would attend to the patient who need it most. Kung ano yung pinakakailangang, what do you call this, attention, ibibigay nila. I-scan mo na, that's the word. Pre-scan para when you get inside the hospital, alam na nila if they need to attend, it's a matter of life and death or pwede pang maghintay yung hininga mo. Parang gano'n. So yun yung triage na concept. So how do we do it in the classroom?
Okay, so in the classroom, in the triage, it's a different setup because my nurse, may tagakuha ng, so you have a team. While in the classroom, ikaw lang mag-isa and you wear so many hats. This is where triage comes in the form of differentiated learning. So you identify now, sino sa mga students mo yung kailangan ng help na teacher assisted, kailangan ng help ng peer-to-peer, or mga advanced na. So this is where you utilize those students with advanced skills to then guide or give feedback or share with the students who need more help. But those who's with beginning skills or in the cognitive phase skills, if you still remember those stages, the cognitive, the associative, and the autonomous. So if our student is in the cognitive phase, it's important that it's you as a teacher will have to assist them so you can cue in the right keywords. So that's very important. The foundational stage of learning a skill, it should be coming from a teacher. But if you're sure that an advanced student can actually articulate it to another classmate, okay lang yun. So that's when triage happens in our classroom. We try to identify and make differentiated learning experiences so that we address and bridge that gap of the skill acquisition.
How does that reflect naman pag written work? Pag written work, sometimes, especially kung medyo, I don't know, but in music, we do essays in the middle school and the high school level, right? So sometimes, ang daming correction. The thing is, when a student, kahit naman ikaw, nakuha mo yung paper mo, tapos nakita mo yung teacher mo, di ba, triage concept, nakita mo yung paper mo, may correction ka na sa music concepts, mali na yung mga answer mo, tapos sinircle pa ni teacher yung wrong spelling mo, tapos walang period, tapos all of this are like, you see all the red marks or even the markings on paper. The initial reaction of your eyes, yun pa lang, yung stimulus, ang dami namang mali, yung parang ayaw mo nang, hindi mo na, immediately your brain will just, filter it, parang, or yeah, magsishut na siya kasi ang dami mo nang nakita. So yung ideal checking doon feedback is you focus on kung ano yung gusto mong i-focus. So kung kunyari, yun nga ang problema ng batang yun, yung kunyari yung focus mo for this week, is rhythm, dun mo lang circlean, puro rhythm na.
Yes.
Ignore mo muna yung ibang nakikita mo kasi
Yes.
hindi naman yun yung focus mo ngayon. No? So it's learning to pre-scan and actually isolate and then identifying the immediate needs kung sino yung ano yung kailangan at the
Yes,
moment.
that's right. Tama, Teacher C.
Mhm.
So, even if we wanted to jump into the next topic or to the next learning activity, it's best to address already the learning gaps. Kasi if you keep on moving, kawawa naman those who have learning gaps, right? Teachers, I'm sure you can relate because for the past 2 years, modular kayo, and right now you come back to face-to-face, and I'm sure you've observed those needed skills.
Oh, yeah. Some teachers have
1:60. Wow.
Yes. Oo,
So
diba?
set A is 30 students and set B 30 students.
Parang ganun.
I guess.
So yun, yung mga triage, yun nga, yung you form a little bit bigger groups sa classroom from the ibang ways, different ways yung strategy sa differentiation, skill-based, di ba? Beginning,
Yes.
bahala na kayo, but I believe yung advanced, mas makaka-independent, ano yun, basta alam nila yung goals nila, right? So another way is to do, allow the students, give them this opportunity to assess themselves. When we give feedback, hindi naman kailangan all the time it will come from us. In fact, we should promote this, giving them the awareness, giving them that opportunity to think where they're at the moment. Because sometimes they are more motivated kung they feel they know what to do and they are more in control rather than another person telling you. This is the parang natural psychology. Kahit sino man ayaw mo nang dinidiktahan ka, di ba? So, pag sa sarili mo, alam mo na, ay, oo nga, no, parang ano ko dito. Ikaw mismo, you will try to recalibrate and then correct yourself, mag-auto-correct ka, right?
Yes.
So you can issue an exit ticket na parang short lang, three things you did well today, two concepts that I think you need to practice, and then one question I have for the teacher. This can be in the form of a paper or pwede nilang i-answer, ipaano mo lang stick na and then post it, then let them stick it on the wall. So, kagaya ko dati. So, pag alis nila, binabasa ko na lang yun. So, I have an overview of the class, kung ano yung natutunan nila, ano yung parang feeling nila, hindi pa nila masyadong alam, at yung mga questions nila. Very quick. Pero ang tanong, feedback ba yun?
Of course, but it's not as clear or specific as you would want to be, but your student giving this type of activity is giving you an overall view already.
Meron. It's a feedback. It's a two-way. You get where they're at the same time, you as a teacher, they're giving you a feedback of how you delivered the lesson. Okay, I think another strategy is yung peer edit. Kasi kung malaki, kunyari 30, di pag nag-peer edit ka to a pair, di meron ka ng 15, nahati mo na yung classes sa 15. So the question is, what will those 15 students do? I think the peer feedbacking, in my experience, Teacher Riza, is very effective once we have trained our students. Ito na naman, babalik tayo. Once we have explicitly taught them how to communicate, so that the other student does not feel offended. Diba kasi iba pag the how you say it is how they will take it. So, paano natin gagawing, I think the word is objective, even with our students, we have to explicitly train them. It doesn't just happen like that. So, I think later on, we'll be showing you how our students did it in class, how they do the feedbacking. So, now that we have some strategies, alam na natin. Inuna ko na muna yung strategies kasi baka mamaya alam nga natin yung content tapos di naman natin alam kung paano gawin yun. Baka we were thinking we will just write everything. So, inuna ko na muna yung how. Now, the next thing is what is the content of the feedback? Sabi nga ni how do we report it? Diba? How do we report it to our students, to our parents? Diba? Paano natin i-report? Number one, the most common content ng feedback is you actually focus on the task, yung ginagawa nyo at the moment, yung learning target nyo. And yung process. Yung favorite ko dito yung process. Pag sinabing process, sometimes we have the connotation process, ipifeedback ko kung anong ginawa nyo ng beginning, tapos yung middle, tapos ano na yung end output, diba? Usually ganon, yung process, it's very sequential. But there are other ways of thinking, of looking into this process, right? So I'll show you an example which I think will be helpful to you. Like this is in the context of music. For those who are teaching music, whether they're playing piano, they're playing guitar, or ukulele, or yung simpleng lyre. Sometimes, very common to, I'll let you watch a part of this and then process you through this. Yan, di ba? Okay, baka may gusto mag-share. What's unusual about the performance? So, if you're about to, thank you si Teacher Arvin. Teacher Arvin, baka gusto mo mag-participate, you're free to turn on your mic or pwede mong what did you find para to improve in the performance of the student. Kasi nakakatugtog naman siya. If you look technically on the notes, natugtog niya yan nagawa niya. Ito yung mga notes, tama lahat yung pitch, na-coordinate niya both hands, parang wala namang problema, right? But as you listen to this, yung bata, ang tugtog niya, tapos pause, tapos tapos pause ulit. So magtataka ka, bakit kaya hindi niya natutugtog ng dire-diretso? The most common response ng isang music teacher, kung hindi ka masyadong aware, you don't go into the thinking process of the student, ang sasabihin mo lang, practice ka na, practice ka pa ha, practice ka, konting practice na lang yan, kaya mo yan, practice ka pa. So the word practice again is there. Yung parang it's too general, pero hindi niya alam kung ano yung pa-practicein. Kasi pwede niya i-argue, tama naman ako, tapos natutugtog ko naman.
Yes.
Pero kung papakinggan mo, yung bata, hinto ng hinto. So, I as a teacher was listening to this. Sabi ko, ano bang mali sa batang to? Alam ko na. Maybe this student is thinking and interpreting, understanding the bar lines, those who are teaching music, as a symbol to stop or to pause, which should not be the case. Kasi sa music, hindi naman tatatat, pause, tatatat, hindi yun ganun, right? So, it's just used to divide the beats, but that doesn't mean to say yung playing mo dapat ganun. So what I'm trying to say is in our teaching, we should try to get into the thinking of process of the student. What is this student thinking thinking at this time? That's why he or she is performing like this. Kasi meron yun kaya siya nagagano, hindi dahil lang kulang siya sa practice. I totally disagree. Meron mga batang ganun, pero meron talagang iba yung pagkaintindi. Yeah, we call this the misconception or weak pa yung understanding niya at this time. Another example, this is a common parang what do you call way of correcting, like pag nagbigay ka ng worksheet, music teachers, di ba, ito yung worksheet mo. Divide the beats, this is 2, 4, 3, 4. Tapos you have a student, makikita mo, if this is student A, yun naka-yellow. Pag tingnan mo, di ba yan yung niya, tapos ima-mark mo na, mali yan, mali naman talaga, right? Or tingnan mo. The student here, how do you think the student is thinking? Look, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this student is most likely thinking that each symbol represents a beat. Kaya ang bilang niya 1, 2, line, 1, 2, line, 1, 2. Wala siyang pakailam kung ano yung note value.
Yes.
So this is specifically telling you as a teacher that this student does not have any understanding of the note values at this time. Wala. So you as a teacher, feedback from the student. This is feedback from the student through her work na kailangan mo i-reteach yun. Then you have to reteach yung note values kasi yun yung hindi niya naiintindihan right? So, eto namang student, yung next student, we were working on this kanina. Look at this, the meter is 3, 4. You can also see patterns. How the student is thinking, hindi lang yung basta tayo nag-X, di ba? Isipin mo. Kung tignan mo yung student, nagagawa naman niya, some parts tama, some parts mali, yan, nagagawa niya. Pero merong isa na parang hindi. Ito, tapos ito. Di ba? Kung titingnan mo, 1, 2, 3. Tama, di ba? Pero sa music, ito kasi is 2 counts, right?
Yes.
O 2 counts. So kung gagawa ka naman, 1 plus 2 plus 1. Paano niya naisip na 4 yun? Di ba? Ito rin, 2 plus 1 plus 1. So most likely, dalawa lang yung naiisip ko dito. Thinking process. Number 1, the student does not have yet a clear understanding of the half note. But the rest of the notes, alam niya. Alam niya 1 count to, alam niya to, na 8 notes. Pero ito, hindi niya alam. Right? So, going back to earlier, so anong re-reteach mo? Do you have to reteach the entire thing?
Not really.
Oh,
You focus on what do they really need most.
Like dito, ang di lang naman alam ng student dito is yung half note.
Yes.
So maybe you can go back to the knowing the values of the half note para sa next time, gumawa siya nito, makaka-proceed na siya. Di ba? Hindi rin naman to not knowing how to add. Iba rin ang reflection ng batang hindi marunong mag-add. Makikita mo rin. So get into the thinking process, which I think most often we don't think about. Kasi pag nag-check tayo, okay, check, tapos X, check,
We understand naman, Teacher C, kasi iba nga yung realities natin. So, in the reality of public school teachers or private school teachers, there's like extremes of it. So, just adopt which is necessary for your reality.
Basta pag nag-check, kunyari 60 papers, makikita mo na yung pattern pag nag-check ka, bakit ba tong number na to lagi silang mali?
Yes.
Diba? So, yun na lang. Then, I think it's a feedback for you to teach that part. Right? And the next, how do we give feedback? Kung ayaw mo mag-focus sa thinking process, sa task, maybe you can focus on the criteria. Earlier, we said that the peer-to-peer feedbacking works. So, how do you actually teach them and make them do the feedback based on the criteria? Yes. So ito, in example by Teacher Risa, wherein students are involved in giving feedback to each other, right? So pag nag-feedback yung estudyante, you'll be able to see They don't feedback, oh, you are very good, oh, di ba, wala yung gano'n, oh, you look nice today, wala yung mga ganyan. So they're very, you can see, they're very focused
Specific.
on the task, they're very focused on what is the goal, di ba? So meron talaga, alam nila yung ganito. Kung ikaw student, kinokomentan ka ng ganito, hindi ka ma-offend kasi it's very objective, right? So, Miss Rita, what app did you use to be able to do this?
Okay, if you're using Google account or Google Classroom, this is a Jamboard extension in Google. So you just have to prepare a Jamboard frame for your class, then assign, then just provide the space where your students can give feedback to each other. Just make sure, bago mo i-release yung Jamboard, na-explain mo how to give feedback, ano yung mga steps. So, in my case, it's given already that they have to look into the arm position, the body position, and the feet position, because that's what I want them to focus on for that particular lesson of the week. Otherwise, we'll just be giving feedback generally, but I want their classmates to focus on those things because I want them to look into another person aside from themselves. So sometimes I would ask them to evaluate their own performance, other times on a specific partner or classmate, which actually helps their communication skills.
Supportive of communication. Sometimes when we look into other performances, yan yung isang opportunity also to learn, right?
Yeah, so it's like an incidental learning. You give this learning opportunity, but is also teaching them how to communicate what they are thinking.
Mm-hmm. And you give them opportunities to use the vocabulary or terminology words that you are using,
That's right.
Through their feedback. Okay, next. Kung ayaw mo naman sila i-comment, i-feedback based on the, what do you call this, on the criteria, you can specifically point out to them a specific thing that they need to improve and what they need to move on. To illustrate that, here's another example in music. Diba, dun sa mga music teachers or karamihan naman dito, ma'am, I'm sure you can relate. This is the most basic example. Like, for example, in most assessment, yung lalo na sa grade 1 and 2, diba, ang pinaka-goal is to teach yung pitch sol mi, right? Then you have a student na we know that sol mi in the context of Kuday, it's a movable do. So meaning, kakantahin mo to, pero pwede siyang movable siya. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng nasa mataas, pwedeng nasa mababa.
That's
Now,
right.
you have a student here who comes to you and take the singing test. Tapos ang kata niya, ta, 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 para lang siyang diretso, right? So, kung you're able to hear this student, what will you, parang what are you thinking at the moment? Nasaan yung bata? What is it telling you? Because the goal here is for the student to be able to sing sol and mi. Nasaan kaya yung bata? Ito yung picture ng student na tinatawag na parang tone deaf. Kasi yung pitch niya, wala siyang sense of intonation. Lahat ng kinakata niya, diretso la, da, 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 da. So, ganun lang yung ano niya. So, it's already informing you as a teacher that you need to provide more activities and maybe listening exercises that will help develop first the concept of high and low. At least yun muna. Pag meron na siyang baba, taas, kahit out of tune pa yan, basta nakakababa and taas na yung tono niya, then it's a progress rather than parang straight lang. Right? So, meron namang isang student, merong lumabas na kumanta ng ganito. If you look at this, parang sasabihin mo, parang mali, kasi ito yun, right? But you have to remember, you have to be clear, what are you assessing? Are you assessing perfect pitch or yung relative pitch? In Koday, it's movable do. So if you're gonna ask me if this is in the interval of a ta, 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 it is in the interval. So the student is still okay, kahit nakinanta niya ng mas mataas, then this student,
or mas mababa, right?
the student is already telling you that I understand, I have a concept, that I understood the concept of high and low. It's just that I'm singing it in another register, in another key, na mas mataas or mababa. not like this one. So this type of like students' performance, they're already giving you a feedback in the formative phase, what we need to reteach. So yun ang ipo-focus mo, right? Kung gusto mo ng perfect pitch, edi magbigay ka ng exercises na puro ang ano talaga is yung perfect, yung 'di ba? Kung 'di ba, pero hindi naman yun eh. Ang concept mo lang is high and low.
That's right.
Okay, we move on. After the feedback, we would like, di ba? Again, this is the idea. We would like to have the time, that opportunity to hear how the students or to see how our students improve over time. May ibabalik sila. Kaya nga back di ba? So, Teacher Riza will explain this to you.
So in this sample shown in the screen, so my student submitted a speed bounce challenge, but she was not able to do the the jumping side to side. She did the leaping, which is not a skill that we are trying to perform. So notice yung feedback ko sa kanya is very specific on what to do. So she needs to work on those feedback and give and resubmit a video showing an improvement on that particular skill. So on your end, you can try this. So maybe in a group activity, because if it's individual, I'm sure mawawalan kayo ng oras. If kagaya ni Sir Paul, meron siyang 60 or 50 students and then you'll give an individual feedback. So devise a strategy in such a way na you are giving feedback but you're not sacrificing the quality of feedback you are giving. So, and you will not burden yourself with so much feedback na na-overwhelm ka na. So find a balance how you give a feedback. In my case, I was able to do individual feedbacks because may ginagamit kaming learning management system that makes it easier for me to give an individual feedback. But again, kailangan lang specific.
Okay, this is another example of how the student responded to a feedback based on the feedback naman of classmates.
Yeah, so this one, if you remember yung peer-to-peer feedback ni Teacher C a while ago, ito yung ginamit ng mga students ko. So I normally use the TAG or the tell, ask, or give a suggestion. So the TAG strategy, I would ask them, okay, just choose which letter you will be using. Is it going to be the letter T or tell something what you like? Or the letter A, ask about the performance, or G, give a suggestion. So in here, the classmate was able to tell how this student was able to perform this particular activity. So this gives you an idea just by browsing through the feedback of the classmate. You can also get a glimpse of where the skills of your students are. So kahit hindi ko yung nagbigay ng feedback, meron ka pa ring feedback na magsasabi sa'yo na, okay, my students are improving, or okay, my students need more help here. So you have actually made your students responsible in giving an appropriate feedback to another classmate or another person.
And also, I think this is one strategy for classroom management. Hindi lang naman sa feedbacking. It's very supportive of a positive classroom management, because in my own experience, pag everyone is just focusing on what they need to see, pag pinapanood nila yung classmates nila and they know what to look into, mas focus sila. Hindi sila masyadong nagdadaldalan because they have a goal. Meron silang dapat tignan at meron silang inoobserbahan, and quietly they're learning from it. Kasi engaged sila. That's the word. Kasi pag iniwan lang sila, like it's all the time, it's the teacher who's talking, and then nag-observe lang sila without saying anything. At the end, parang the mind goes off, nagwo-wonder, right?
Yes.
Hindi sila actively engaged. But in my own experience, walang nag-iingay kasi busy sila pag tinawag ko sila, they should be able to tell me what they saw and how would this student do better next time. So anong gagawin mo? Kailangan ka manood, di ba?
True.
Okay, this is another example of a feedback, if we send students to practice, just like what I shared with you last week, they should know what to practice. Hindi lang sila, okay, teacher, I will practice. So, in this case, alam nung bata katulad nito na pag nag-practice siya, ang pa-practicein niya yung position ng kamay niya and will focus on the technique. Hindi sa kahit saan pa man, di ba? Kasi there are so many concepts and elements in music. So, pag nag-practice siya, dapat alam niya, ano nga ba yung pa-practicing ko?
Yes.
Okay. This is a sample single point entry rubric wherein students are not given the usual number and indicators criteria. In a single point entry rubric, ano siya? You just have the criteria written down. This is what you hope the students will achieve at the end of the unit. And then, you don't have any score, wala. Ito lang yung pinakamataas. Then, you have two columns. So, basically, quick feedbacking to. So, you can either just put a check mark or you can explicitly write a comment. Here, kung tingin mo, dito siya kulang, pwede ka mag-write ng short comment dito and then give it back to the students during the formative phase. I repeat, during the formative. Para, pag nagbigay ka na ng performance task during the summative in, kunyari, 2 weeks time, alam na niya. Then you, the student, and you won't feel that parang regret, ay hindi ko na maalam yun eh. Or sayang, sana nasabi ko sa kanya. Alam niya because kahit yung parent, nakita niya, oh, hanggang ngayon 2 weeks na, hindi mo pa rin yan ginawa. So, the same thing, pag may magaling siya, alam mo yung student na Miss Lisa, yung parang you're given the standard pero lumagpas pa siya doon dahil ang galing niya. I think pwede mo rin dito i-comment para yung batang yun
ito yung mga advanced na skills na students.
Or pwedeng check lang na mabilis form of rubrics. Kasi kung isa-isa mong ano by number, mahirap, di ba?
Yes.
Yung kunyari ito 4 ka. Tapos ang daming criteria, di ba? Nakaka-overwhelm yun. Ito simpleng check lang, malalaman mo na. And malalaman na rin niya. Okay. Towards after the feedbacking, I think comes the reflection and evaluation. Ito yung pagkatapos mo na i-feed, tapos nag-respond na yung bata or nag-respond ka na. And then we go to the reflection phase. Sa reflection phase, how is this different from the feedbacking phase?
So the reflection now involves you looking through the big picture already. What happened? The things that you've gone through from preparing the learning experiences to actually giving feedback during the formative phase to the final goal. Okay, so as you can see, Teacher C, in the example, so my students are able to actually spell it out in one of our activities, how we were talking about working in a group or working with a partner, or how to synergize with their classmates when they are in a team. So this is the end product of their work.
So the student is able to represent briefly, parang in a concise manner, nag-draw lang sila. Jamboard ba ito?
Yes, Jamboard again.
With the keywords, you will see here the student has an understanding of the process kasi may step sila. They know the traits that they need to show or the strategies that they need to do to be able to achieve or parang show a good skill towards the end.
Yes.
So they're able to articulate it. Diba? Yan yung reflection there. You have given them chance to really look back. Ano na ba kailangan para magawa namin to as a team? Diba?
Yeah, so I suggest teachers, especially in PE, when you introduce team games or group games, try to model or draw out from the kids how working as a team would affect each other's skill or goals.
Okay, here's another one. Yung sa reflection, how do we promote and encourage it? Part of it is swerte nga tayo ngayon, may technology.
Yes.
You can use a learning platform to support yung communication skills nila, especially in the area of writing, ganyan, mga short lang ng student. So here you'll see in most comments, they're able to point out yung mga strategies na in-apply
Yes.
nila, what they're good at, and what they need to do to be able, to improve daw sila ng teamwork. So it's coming from them rather than
Than the
you. Yeah,
teacher,
we're
so.
empowering the student. It's becoming more student-centered kasi they themselves know what they need to do without the teacher telling them.
Teacher C, I wonder kung anong learning platform ng mga teachers natin. Meron po bang nag-Google Classroom? Can you type Google Classroom sa chat kung Google Classroom po ang learning platforms ninyo? How about the others? Since now that Canvas. Okay, parehas tayo, Miss Levita. MS Teams. Okay, Microsoft pa lang ano dito. I also like Microsoft.
PowerPoint. Thank you.
PowerPoint.
Puro nag-share,
Okay.
di ba? It's not actually with the app, right? What is
Yes.
important is you're able
How
to
we use it.
to find a platform that will encourage the development of those skills, whether
Yes.
it's just a
It's
subject.
just a tool to help us
Yeah.
make learning more seamless to our students.
Kasi minsan nahihiya sila magsalita in class, di ba?
Yes, pero
So,
pag pinasulat mo sila dun sa comment section or sa discussion board, talagang makikita mo yung thinking process nila.
especially with katulad nito yung
Yes.
So para siyang Facebook and very social media ba, o may like ako dito,
Yes, very
tapos
social media
chat
oriented.
they like the idea.
But it's only for the class. So I would always tell my students, it's like our class Facebook.
Di ba? Face to face na po kami. So seldom na po nag-G-meet yan. Sa mga face to face, so encourage the
So even in face-to-face, you don't use Google Classroom. It's actual paper and pencil again. Because even if we're hybrid, we use the actual paper and pen, but we also post materials in the learning platform. Oh, for Sir Ruel.
So yun. So iba-iba. I hope whatever
Whatever is your elements.
Basta kayo magko-communicate. This one is another example wherein how do you support or develop yung ability to reflect. Some kids, majority of our kids, even adults, mahirap mag-reflect if you don't know what to reflect on, di ba? Mahirap siya. Usually, as a newbie, you would want a guide. Parang rin, di ba? Pag nagsusulat yung mga bata ng essay, they don't know how to do it. So, naggagawa ka ng mga mapping muna, how to organize their thoughts. With the reflection, it's the same thing. So, I guess with the guide questions, they'll be able to specifically go back kung ano yung hinihing mo. And it becomes more specific and mas guided sila kung paano sasabihin nila. Diba? So,
that's right.
This is a sample type of reflection wherein the students naman are encouraged to reflect pero hindi siya written form. We must remember this, just like what we have always shared. Our students functions and understand things differently, and they also express themselves differently. So, hindi talaga one shoe fits all. Dapat merong ways. Like this, they can do oral reflection,
Yes.
right? So, I will play a bit of this, and then Miss Lisa will share her personal, professional reflection on this as the student is sharing her reflection.
I'm going to be answering the questions for the reflection. Number 1, how did you find performing your forehand and backhand service? Honestly, I found it really fun, but at first I thought it would be really hard, but it turned out to be really easy because Miss Risa helped me throughout the whole thing. Okay, number 2. What skill-related fitness component did you apply in your forehand or backhand service? Give at least one skill and explain. I think the skill-related fitness component I applied for the forehand or backhand service is power, because you are gonna be needing a lot of power once you swing your racket. especially when it's cycle 7, when we're gonna try to put our shuttlecock over the net. Number 3.
Okay.
What challenges did
I
you
think Miss Lisa will share her personal reflection as she's watching the reflection of the student.
So as my student is sharing those thinking process, so it gives me an idea na because during class you wouldn't see how happy they are, right? And this one happened online. We're observing hybrid, so I meet them in the morning and the other cluster in the afternoon, but online. So she was in an online class, so she chose to do this. And of course, if you're online, skill acquisition is a bit challenging. So with her, even if it's online, she found it fun because that's based on the in-person and online experience. But her articulating to me kung ano yung nararamdaman niya, kung ano yung skill na na-apply niya, at kung paano niya ina-apply yun, that gives me an idea na, okay, naintindihan niya pala talaga. So it validates the teaching strategy that I was using in her class to be effective for that particular time. So if ever na may sinabi siya that I was not able to get this skill or I was not able to coordinate, for example, then that would also give me a chance na, okay, I still need more time and another activity to support the coordination skill. But in her case, naintindihan niya, na-enjoy niya, and the teaching process, which she mentioned a while ago, helped her in actually performing a backhand and forehand service.
Okay, those are mga MAPE teachers. I think if you want it less work for students, kasi nga naman minsan pag nagpagawa ka, added work pa to, di ba? Then I think just like what we shared with you, you can actually collaborate with English, right?
Yes.
So, and they can do better, and they're gonna think about how to communicate with all the facial expression, the tone of the voice. That would make learning more holistic for them and more meaningful. Tapos with less tasks para hindi siya for the sake of PE lang, di ba?
Teacher C, the reflection in itself is an evaluation of the student already. You just have to devise where to put it in the grade component. So it's up to the teacher where would you assign this particular activity in such a way na hindi ka nakukuha or hindi ka na magbibigay ng paper and pencil test sa student mo because it's there. She was able to articulate kung ano yung skill. She was able to explain how she was able to do it. So the manner and even if it's a video, nakita mo na yung skill na hinahanap mo. Nakita mo na yung understanding of the concept. Kasi ito yung minsan nawawala sa PE. Turo lang tayo ng turo ng skill, pero yung pag-articulate ng pag-intindi ng concept na yon, like yung skill-related fitness component, sa ibang bata, hirap na hirap silang intindihin. How is skill-related fitness component applied in real life? Araw-araw nilang ina-apply yun. Being agile, being able to coordinate your body as you perform different movements, those are everyday skill application. So yun.
Parang you give them the opportunities not only to retrieve the information, the terms, but you also give them opportunities to connect the dots.
Yes, it's not just actually in PE. Sometimes before we have this misconception na kailangan maturo ko kung paano mag-dribble, but there's a concept that comes with it. Hindi pwedeng kailangan mahawakan lang nila yung bola, madribble na nila. It has to come with an understanding. Meron siyang concept talaga. Hindi pwedeng sinabi mo lang mag-dribble tayo, sinabi mo lang, okay, mag-volleyball tayo, okay, mag-badminton tayo. May concept na kaakibat yon na hindi pwedeng paghiwalayin. Otherwise, hindi talaga maiintindihan ng kids mo. Especially na 2 years tayo nag-pandemic, ang laki ng learning gap when it comes to the movement skills. Kaya the more dapat na mapaintindi natin sa kanila yung concept.
I use this also as Miss Lisa shared earlier. Ito na mismo pwede to sa parang as form of assessment for the knowledge and understanding.
Yes.
Diba? Kasi na-articulate nila. Hindi ka na kailangan gumawa pa ng, it doesn't have to be on again a paper na may 10 items, multiple choice. Ito pa lang, it can be a basis for scoring, right? So, articulate nila yun. Iba kasi pag usually students who's not given a chance to articulate what they're thinking or connects the dots of their learning, usually ito yung mga ganito yung response. So what did you learn today? Or ano, pag tinanong mo sila, yung common answer nila dyan, I don't know. Diba nakarinig na kayo? Hindi ko alam or I don't know.
Sa
famous yan eh.
Sa
I don't
lesson
know.
wrap up, Teacher C, sa lesson wrap up. So what's your today I learned, and then, di ba, complete the sentence. May mga ganun tayong strategy sa lesson wrap-up eh. So, in that particular time, pag na-articulate ng student mo, well and good, thank you sa'yo. But yung mga hindi naka-articulate, ibig sabihin, their understanding of that particular skill or concept is hindi pa strong yung foundation nila. Mahina pa. I actually had an experience last week. One student emailed me, teacher, I really don't understand the concept, the physical fitness component. Can you explain it to me again? So we have to go through each component para lang maintindihan niya. So lucky tayo if yung student natin mag-i-email or magtatanong. What if hindi magtanong? Diba? So we have to give them an opportunity na maintindihan yung concept.
Okay.
I'm going to.
Okay. This one quickly lang. Kung ayaw naman, you don't want to use the platform or the technology or do oral written work. Yung sa lesson planning itself, like, for example, di ba, yung first part ng natin, skills acquisition, a huge part of that to develop the skills acquisition in PE, subject related, are the soft skills, di ba?
Yes.
So, meron mga bata na magaling naman sila, pero wala sila ng soft skills or values that they need to practice or embrace to be able to achieve the skill. Like in the specific example, ito yung learning plan. So this is what I give the students. So yung focus ng bata, kung makikita mo, hindi do sa product. Ito yung mga goals niya. Then I have a guide question that promotes the students' opportunity to reflect. So ngayon sa sarili niya, papakinggan niya, the student is becoming mindful what to pay attention to in the process of practicing, in the process of learning. Kasi minsan, pag walang mindful thought do sa ginagawa nila, akala nila things just happen like that. But yeah, you have to give them the opportunities through the guide questions to how do you design your plan. Okay, I think we're about to end with
just right on time, Teacher C. So with all the things that we've talked to from session 1 up to session 4, thank you for joining us. We would like to leave you with this quote from Eduo Koyenikan. If you quit on the process, you are quitting on the result. Pinapatamaan nata ako ni Teacher C dito eh. I have a hanging project that I need to finish. So if you quit on the process, you are quitting on the result. So this is a reminder, not just for me, but for all of us teachers, especially yung kakabalik lang face-to-face. We are still in the process. Don't quit. Not yet. 1PhysEd is here and SharpsNFlatsED is here to guide you through. If you need assistance, just get on, keep moving. We'll get through this just how we did for the past 2 years.
invite them.
Okay, before we attend to questions or clarifications, we would like to extend our invitation to everyone in 1PhysEd. So I talked a while ago to Coach JR. I think 1PhysEd will be having a break next Saturday, right, Coach J? So we would like to invite everyone next Saturday. So come join us. We'll be talking about all MAPE. So all your concerns about music, arts, PE. I will touch on the arts, even though I've stopped teaching arts for the last 2 years because of the pandemic. So I just handled PE, but I could still help you get through it. So meet us 2 to 3 p.m. Zoom. And we'll have it also in YouTube live for our YouTube subscribers and attendees right now in 1%. Please do give us a follow. We'll have the this type of chat. It's an informal chat next Saturday. So these are our social media accounts. Please give us a follow on those so you could get through the link or join us via YouTube. So Teacher C will be sharing the Google Forms in a while after the Q&A. So if you have Q&A, please do ask or share. Or if you don't want to ask, and if you would like to share your learnings from the past 4 sessions or 3 sessions, go ahead.
I've just sent the form, so you're free to register sa chat. Kindly fill in the forms. Let us know if it's working or not. Coach JR, saglit lang ha. Ayan.
Go ahead, Teacher C.
We'll just show you yung channel kasi namin. Minsan mahirap siya hanapin. The channel has our logo like this. Yung isa kasi yun yung hindi gumagana. So in the channel, you'll be seeing like materials in music, mostly geared towards Philippine music. And then Miss Risa has her own videos in PE and dance. So you can have look at the channel when you're free and then subscribe.
Yes, please do give. Yes, Coach.
Yeah, I think you just need to edit the access for the form. It says need permission. I tried it also.
Ay, hindi gumagana?
It should be
It works, but you need to adjust the settings for edit so that the participants can register.
Okay. I will try again to do that in a bit. Yung for those who are teaching music, you can go to our website. I have worked hard on this, teacher Coach JR. Teka lang ha. 'Di ba ang problem kasi usually na-encounter namin sa pagtuturo ng music, yung materials daw, yung resources. So on this site, you'll find a collection of the videos in YouTube, and then it has the concepts that you want to teach across throughout the year. Yes. And categorize according to the different elements of music. Okay?
Yes, so for the music teachers there or MAPE teachers, grab this chance to save the link of the learning activities because this will save you time.
Okay, let me try the
there.
Okay, I think you can try again. Coach JR, can you help us? Can you try again if the form?
Sure.
Coach J, please share also the link to our YouTube.
It's working.
Subscribe.
It's working now.
YouTube subscribe.
Definitely all these links, since we always have thank you posts, we're gonna be including that. So we're just gonna chat so that we can include that chatting thank you post later. Yeah.
Okay. We have to see you there. There's no topic there. It's open-ended. So you can do a question and answer, then we can just chat.
It's like an informal consultation.
Kasi Coach JR, pag may topic, ang hirap mag-isip eh.
Symposium style.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Of course, this time as we. By the way, hi everyone. I did not have the opportunity to do the hosting kanina. Thank you, Sir Jeko. But at this point, we would like to invite, of course, our participants, whether you are here via Zoom and there via YouTube, to ask now questions, because we have these people who really have this experience, they really invested their time to master their craft. And of course, we are so thankful, for the 4 Saturdays that they've devoted for this series. It's really, a wonderful opportunity going back to how we teach things, for those who attended, sige nga sa ating mga kaibigan sa through the reaction. Sige nga, palike nga if you're here since day 1 ng ating day, that's September 4 if not I'm not mistaken. Kayo ay nandito. Yeah, may mga nagla-like na. So dito rin sa YouTube. If nandito kayo since day 1. All of you guys really witness, no, that learning is a process. Naalala natin yung binanggit ni Teacher C, no, sa isang manufacturing, in a tall manufacturing, di ba? There is a process, there are stages before we see the final output or the product. No, just for example, no, hindi ko binabrand ang Green Cross, no. Bago natin ma-spray yung Green Cross na yan sa ating mga kamay, no, syempre, it takes process, no. Pinagplanuhan, packaging, advertising,
Aba, Coach JR, sakto ka.
quality assurance.
Nag-promote.
So, lahat, no? Lahat ng process lahat ng process ay pinagdaanan. Therefore talagang it's the same thing and it's the same logic as we do teaching. Sometimes we are really too focused with the topic. Kailangan nila makapag-arnis. Kailangan nila makapag-badminton. Kailangan nila basketball, makapag-dance, and so on. Because we know that these are mediums to attain the main objective, which is physical fitness, lifelong fitness, no?
Yes.
But again, in order to see the effect of that, hindi natin kayang makita instantly yan na ang pinaka nagiging major fruit talaga nating mga kaguruan, no? Teachers man o hindi, is that nakikita natin ginagawa nila after the academe. Nakikita natin yung talagang sila ay actively engaged, sila ay actively, taking care of their body to do physical activities. And true, sa ating mga teachers na medyo may nag-invest na ng ilang taon sa pagtuturo, yung mga nakagraduate nyo na students, kamusta na sila? No? Doon natin makikita yung ating impact sa ating mga ginawa. And of course, yung tinurong proseso ng ating mga experts for this series ay malaking tulong in order to make it possible. And salamat dahil maraming strategies tayong nakuha. So, at this point, parang walang gustong magtanong dahil mukhang maliwanag na sila. Handa na ba kayo sa assessment? Handa na po ba tayo sa joke lang, no? Of course, no, ito naman ay
Baka hindi pumunta next Saturday, Coach JR, kung may pa-assessment.
Of course, no, alam naman natin, pwede naman natin pong balikan. Ito ay available naman. At syempre, Miss RJ, maganda rin ma-share nyo tong series na to. Downloadable naman yung mga video natin sa YouTube. Pwede nyo mailagay din sa SharpsNFlatsED para, of course, it's a series of video na i-conduct natin.
Miss Ivy.
1K words, sabi ni Miss Ivy. Alright, no, ayan. So
one word, Miss Ivy.
Grabe, no? But again, of course, medyo overtime na tayo. But still, we would like to continue. Coach Josh, may I request for us to present the next few slides? Yes, medyo mahaba itong natin kasi syempre, talaga, no? Na yung last week na isa sinama natin.
Yes.
Coach Josh? There you go. Let's present now the slide. Okay, I'll try to do it.
Okay lang, if you were not able to attend, you can always check the YouTube channel.
Ipo-post na lang on both YouTube channels. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Allow me to, hopefully ito yun. Okay. There you go. Okay. All right. So again, wala pong any question, hopefully, no. And again, feel free, no, to ask our speakers, and of course, ang kanilang mga social media ay active po. I think they have Facebook, they have their Instagram, right? So very active si Miss RJ sa Twitter. So see you doon, mga friends. At this point, let's
Hanapin niyo lang po ako at Risa Picture.
At this point, let's award the certificate. The certificate of appreciation is hereby awarded to Ms. Zareen Q. Leterte and Ms. Riza, tama ba? Nandito ba yung sir? Yan, Riza Joy Picho, for generously sharing her expertise as resource speaker or their expertise as resource speaker during the 2022 featured PE teacher series in the webinar titled Skills Acquisition, a Teaching Process to Support Students' Learning. This is a 4 hours professional development, being a professional development speaker, held from September 3 to 24th, 2022 via 1PhysEd YouTube channel and Zoom, awarded this 24th day of September 2022. Signed yours truly, Coach J.R. Biterbo, Coach Joshua Villarreal, and Miss Hazel Eunice Carmen. And of course, we are as our humble token of appreciation, we'd like to award, of course, thank you NutraBud for giving our speakers a bottle of NutraBud. So sa mga hindi pa of course, try ng NutraBud, kay NutraBud, no, reply naman dyan. Anyway, okay, thank you so much. And of course, since si Teacher Z, matagal na nating partner at supportive, support na talaga sa ating mga programs, we're gonna give you the 1PhysEd Pioneering shirt. Si Miss RJ, meron na siya lahat ng colors ng 1PhysEd.
I have the colors of the 1PhysEd.
And watch out no sa ating design for 2022. Okay? Ito po, no, just a quick announcements before we end. Our membership still available. And of course, dahil sabi nga ni Ms. RJ, wala kami next week, no? Of course, in support, no, as a partner here in the Philippines of the International Organization for Health, Sports, and Kinesiology, I am truly honored and proud to represent the Philippines in this conference, in this international conference from October 1 to 4 in Nevada, USA, of course, no? Sana kandun tayo, but sana talaga physically nandun tayo.
Next time, Coach.
Next time, the opportunity to represent the Philippines as a keynote speaker is already a big honor for us. Having the topic optimizing the community health and fitness through physical activities, a partnership program of IOSC and 1PhysEd.Ph. Therefore, kung nandiyan ka nanonood via Zoom, via YouTube, watch out sa ating fitness and wellness program by 2023. Kayo po ay mag-register, anumang yoga, exercises, jump rope, and so many more. Kayo po ay gusto naming maging kabahagi sa mga programang yan. And of course, syempre, last na lang, we're gonna have the 2022 National Physical Education Teachers Convention there in Baguio City, Cordillera Administrative Region. And thankfully, this program already will earn CPD points to all our teachers na kailangan nila for renewal of their license. And we would like to thank all our partners in this conference. And for details, no? For details ng ating conference, of course, na ayan po ay available sa ating Facebook page. Meron din po tayong mga emails na darating in the coming weeks. And of course, the good thing about the conference is that two or three sessions will earn you, in addition to the certificate that you'll be earning and attending the conference, you're gonna be having certification as a coach for some like the jump rope, obstacles course, and of course, floorball. I think even the round net will also open a coaching certification course. And yeah, if you wanna register, okay, yan po ang ating mga registration link. And of course, meron po tayong FAQ sa lahat ng mga katanungan. Nandun din po nakapost sa ating Facebook page. Hopefully masagot ang inyong katanungan. And naiintindihan po namin na sa mga ganitong event talaga napakaraming tanong. Therefore, if you have any further question, connect with us. Of course, the best is through email or sa ating Facebook page. And we will try our best na masagot po kayo as soon as possible. And because of that, okay, we would like now to send the link of our certificate. But before that, may we request everyone to turn on their camera bago po natin i-share ang ating turn on the camera so that we can post. Thank you po sa ating mga ating mga speaker for this episode. Yeah. There you go. Salamat, okay? Okay. Lalakihan lang natin. There you go. Coach Josh, if you're there, kindly help to take a photo also. Okay. Smile tayo. Ready? Teka lang. Nagahang na sa dami ng naka-open. One-man army. Okay. Ready? Okay, one more. Pwede rin po mag-take ng photo ang iba. Just make sure tag lang po 1PhysEd.Ph. Okay, shout out Professor Raymond Anselmo. Thank you for being here this afternoon. Ready? Let's smile. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Okay, isa pa po. Isa pa pong photo. Sa mga gusto pa pong mag-picture, ready? Okay, ready? 1, 2, and 3. All right, there you go. Okay, now sending the link of our certificate, okay, sa ating mga participants. And again, wag po tayong mapapagod na matuto because we need it not only for ourselves but for our students because we change lives through teaching them quality physical education. Once again, this is Coach JR, the founder and executive director of 1PhysEd.Ph, saying let's break the limits and let's go beyond. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.
Thank you po, everyone.
JR.
Thank
God
you.
bless po.
See you by October 4th.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye po.
Bye-bye. God bless.
God bless.
Kindly access the link via chat box.
Yes po.
Thank you. Thank you. We're gonna end now Zoom call. Bye everyone. Bye bye.